so much easier to go live without using OBS or else. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind using the OBS system. I can do a lot more with it, but this sure makes it simple. I don't have to punch up Discord to get people on here. I don't have to take phone calls. A lot of people don't want to call on their phone, and they can just jump on if they want to talk. But hopefully, as people start to come on the stream and don't know who's going to get here, I am going to be talking about the recent activities in our area. How's it going, Roy? Going to talk about some experiences going on with shopping today, which was pretty interesting. Also, a little scare on my side of my brother actually had to get rushed to the hospital. And of course, he's got an upper respiratory infection, but everybody thought, oh my God, he had corona. So while he was in the hospital, we kind of just huckered in over here and didn't go anywhere to make sure, because I had been in contact with him on Tuesday and Wednesday, actually. So wanted to make sure. Sounds like fun, JA. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, really, don't drink the Kool-Aid. But yeah, had it, like I said, we kind of stayed at home Friday and Saturday with what was going on. I didn't really go anywhere Friday, but I heard about it early Saturday morning. And then yeah, my older brother's okay. He's got an upper respiratory infection. He got tested. He's clean. So we just wanted to make sure, so we didn't go anywhere. Once I found out he was okay, well, that's good. And from there, I went out shopping. And that's always interesting these days. Going out shopping now is almost to where, like, if anybody remembers going to Walmart at 2 a.m., it's about as entertaining as that. Of course, Walmart isn't opened late anymore right now. They close at 11 and open at 6 every day now. They're no longer open all night long. And we got word tonight that Dallas County is basically locking everybody in. No one leave their home unless they absolutely have to. I'm not in Dallas County, so I'm still in Tarrant County, so we're good there. Now, as far as as far as my job, my job is still operational. We're still functional, and everything's still going there for the time being. Don't know. Yeah, I can still leave my home. I went shopping earlier today. Don't go shopping if you expect to find toilet paper. See, guys, here's what's going on. For the last 8-9 years, I've been let's just say collecting things. Yeah, little at a time, little here, little there, batteries, canned foods, stuff like that. For the past 8 or 9 years. So when all this panic happened and everybody's running for toilet paper, I'm like, I'm good. Everybody's running for water and milk and canned foods, and I'm like, I'm good. Everybody's running for ammo. I'm good. I did stop in at my friend's ammo store, his gun range, actually. And he's been pretty much cleaned out of every pistol. 2 weeks ago, his cases were filled with probably 50 or 60 pistols. I walked in there and he's got the last one, and the guy's looking at it. And the guy is going to buy this gun. And he didn't even care what it was. He said, I don't care what it is. Just give me that and a box of ammo for it. He didn't even care what kind of gun it was. He found a gun. That's all he knew. I found a gun. And he was going to buy it. And just when you think That's not crazy enough. Just when you think it couldn't get any crazier than that, I'm going to tell you a little story. Now, I'm not going to mention the person's name because the guy's a nice guy. I don't want to embarrass him, but it was one of those just bumped into him kind of at the store. And I'll say this. I was leaving the store, Aldi's, which is in Burleson, right next door to the police station. I'm going to preface it with that. So I always carry my sidearm no matter where I go. And I noticed his was sticking out the bottom of his shirt, which happens. As long as you're licensed, you can carry concealed or not concealed. It doesn't matter. You can open carry it. So I just I looked at it and I noticed, look, I can see, an inch or two of the end of the gun, and I know what it is. Is that bad? Does that make me a gun nut? Anyway, I said, hey, you're a Glock guy. And he goes, huh? He said, and I kind of whispered, I said, your sidearm. I said, do you like your Glock 17? And he goes, oh, is that what it is? No, it was sticking out the bottom of his shirt, J.A. I could see it. I knew it was the 17. But here's the problem. He didn't know it was the 17. He said, oh, is that what it is? Can you believe that? How many people carry a gun and don't know what it is? That guy that bought one at that store earlier, he didn't even care what it was. He didn't want to know. He didn't care. Yeah. Oh, my God, J.A. Oh, my God. Even he knew it. He may not have been able to shoot the gun, but at least he knew what it was. Oh, my God. Okay. So that being said, oh, my God, that made me laugh. That being said, I said, you didn't know you were carrying a Glock 17? He goes, no, I didn't ask a whole lot of questions when I bought it. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm starting to eyeball this guy thinking, okay, did he steal this gun? Is he some idiot that, and I'm looking at this guy and there's no way this guy stole this gun. There's no way. Okay, so I'm still a little nervous because I'm looking at this guy. He could have just come from church. He's wearing, kind of dressed up, coat, tie, that kind of thing. But you can tell when a guy is either a blue collar criminal or high end criminal. Now, a high end criminal is going to know what he's holding. Okay. He's going to know it. So I just, from talking with him, I didn't think that he stole it. So that was the first thing I was trying to figure out. So I started a conversation with this guy on the way out. And I said, look, buddy, I said, I'm not trying to pry, but you got to be careful. I said, the police station's right there and you're carrying a sidearm and I'm pretty sure you don't have a license. And he goes, oh, in Texas, you don't need one to have a gun with you. And, when you travel. I said, when you travel in your car, as long as you're the driver, you don't need a license to have the gun on you when you're in the car. However, when you leave that car, you cannot have that gun on you unless you're going to your house or to your place of employment if you have permission from your employer to have the sidearm and you can put it in a lockbox when you get inside. That is the only circumstance in which you're allowed to carry that sidearm in your vehicle. If you are driving it. Now, if you are not driving that vehicle, you cannot have it on your side. If you're driving it, you can have it on your side. That is the travel law. Okay. I looked at him. I said, look, you need to go to your vehicle, get inside, sit down, take your sidearm out of the holster. Please index your finger. And he said, index my finger. I said, keep it straight. Don't touch the trigger. Now I'm thinking this guy's a danger to himself and everyone around him. Okay. So he goes to his vehicle and he's kind of a little nervous now. And I said, look, man, I don't want to be a jerk. I just want to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself. God forbid you have to draw that thing out. I said, have you even shot it yet? He said, no. He said, the ranges are hard to get into right now. And I said, look, you need to shoot this gun. You need to learn the ins and outs of this gun. I said, do you even know your gun? The only safety on it is the trigger. Do you understand that's the only safety on this Glock 17? He said, no. I said, did anyone explain this to you when you bought it? Where did you buy it? He said, I got it from Academy Sports. No one explained this firearm to him. Look, and I understand this guy is very, very left wing, but he saw no other choice with the current situation of the world to get a sidearm. And I could have been a complete horse's ass and proved to him everything he'd ever been told about right-wing gun fanatics, such as myself. Okay? So I wanted to make sure that I talked to him like a human being, although I was very mad at him. And I told him, look, unless you're trained with this gun, you are in danger of hurting yourself if you ever have to draw this gun out. Or hurting someone else that doesn't need to be shot, like an innocent bystander. Oh, yeah, J.A., yeah, that's it. I think that's what they told him. So basically, he told me next, he said, well, he goes, you know, if someone's right in front of you, how hard can it be? Just pull the gun and I said, you don't understand how difficult it's going to be for you if you've never done it. You have to practice. I said, we just lost someone in a church shooting that tried to pull his gun out and it got caught up in his shirt because he hadn't practiced and he lost his life as a result. I said, you remember that on the news? He goes, yeah, I saw that. I said, it got caught in his shirt while he was drawing his gun, and that's why he got shot. I said, he didn't practice enough. I said, you have to practice. I said, look, when you get home, I want you to empty this gun out. Keep your finger off the trigger when you empty it. Drop the magazine out and then the slide back in that order. Drop the magazine out and pull the slide back in that order and then check it. And this is what I want you to do. And this is funny. I walked over to my vehicle, guys, because I'm constantly moving stuff in and out of that vehicle. I have empty casings always in the door jambs of that vehicle or whatever. It just happens. So I'm looking through the door jam and I found a 9mm casing because Glock 17 9mm, and it's an empty casing. I said, this is what I want you to do when you go home. I said, I want you to take the ammo in the box and everything and put it in another room and walk out of that room and leave that room. Don't go anywhere near that room because I want you to practice dry firing this gun. Now, you can do it without a round in it, and it's okay for a while, but I don't want you to damage the gun. I said, so I want you to take this empty casing, put it in there, and then practice dry firing. Practice drawing it with your finger off of the trigger. Practice over and over again. And then I said, do you ever heard of the term OODA loop? And he goes, OODA loop? He goes, is this some kind of a joke? And I said, no, you're a business guy, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, I can explain this in business terms to you, what OODA loop is. Okay? OODA loop, OODA, is an acronym. Observe, orientate, okay? Decide, and act. Observe, orientate, decide, act. That is OODA. Your OODA loop is multiple times that happens over and over again. Okay, because it's a loop. You see a threat, you orientate your body to that threat. You decide what you're going to do, and then you act. Okay? And I said, in the business sense, think about this. Because you have to train to not have your OODA loop thrown off. Because more than one attacker comes at you, your OODA loop is thrown off. I said, once you get home, look online. And I said, OODA, OODA loop. Search it and read up on it. Okay? I said, in business, it's no different. You should know this. Working in business, he said he had an MBA. I said, you should know this. You observe everything that's happening in your company. Okay? And you find a problem. You orientate yourself and you go to the problem. Okay, you've already observed it, and now you're going to the problem. You decide what you're going to do, and then you act and you implement it. When you get your OODA loop thrown off, it's when you're trying to fix that problem, and another problem happens. And so you go to that one before you finish this one. And then you go and you work on that problem. Do the same thing. Because you observed, you orientated yourself to that problem, and you decided what you're going to do, and you act on it. And then what happens? Something else happens. And he goes, oh, you just described micromanagement. I said, exactly. You cannot micromanage OODA loop. You can't. You have to finish one target before you move to the next. Okay? That's OODA loop. And you have to train to do that. I said, because once you hit condition black, you're not going to be thinking. You have to have the muscle memory, or else you're not going to be able to do this. Red Corona, I'm sure there's a million new gun owners, okay? All the leftists that told us we didn't need a gun are buying guns. I saw people in the gun store that had no clue, never owned a gun before, wanted to know the best gun to buy if you never shot a gun before. I say the best thing for them is a single-shot shotgun. It's the only chance they're not going to hurt themselves. Unless they brush their teeth with it. Okay? So let me tell you something. This guy was so thankful. He said, no one has ever told me this. I had no idea there was this much information and this much you needed to learn to hold a gun. I said, I just scratched the surface of it. You have to go out and train this. Train on drawing your firearm and then shooting it. Train on how fast you can change magazines out. You have to train to do all this. You have to train so much that when, God forbid, it actually happens, and no one wants this to happen. If anybody tells you they want the gunfight, they're an idiot. Stay away from them. No one in their sane mind wants the gunfight. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. That's the problem with Chuck. This guy had no clue that people that carry firearms responsibly do this. They train and train. Because once your blood pressure gets past 160 and closes in on 180, you go condition black. You don't know what's going on. You lose all fine motor skills. And the only thing that you're going to have is your muscle memory. And if you haven't trained to do it, it's not going to happen. That's why you see police officers and military just working like they're a robot. Because once they hit that blood pressure rate and that heart rate, they're just moving on motor function, everything they've trained for. Absolutely nothing else. It takes years to bring that blood pressure down to where you can think through it. Years. And the more and more you're in these bad situations, the better it gets. Yeah, thanks a lot, Horatius. Look, I mean, this guy was really thankful. I'll say his first name was Raymond. Seemed like a really nice guy. My guess is late 30s. Okay, the guy never looked like he didn't. Guy's probably never picked up a shovel. Okay, to dig a hole. Okay. And I told him, I said, if you don't do this and practice this, the only person you're in danger of hurting is yourself before you even pull the gun out. Then you're just now the problem is, and I told him this. I said, if you don't train enough, don't carry your gun. He goes, why not? I said, because all someone's going to do is just shoot you and take it. And now that person has a gun, another gun. Or if you're unaware of your surroundings, I said, you're going to lose your gun. He's like, how? I said, if I was a bad guy, I'd have your gun right now, even if I didn't have a gun. And he looked at me. His eyes got really white. I said, you wouldn't have a chance. I'd take that gun away from you. And now, if I was a bad guy, I'd have a gun. No, Roy, there's no Discord. What I am going to do is let me drop a link in here if someone wants to come on here and talk. Okay, let's see here. There. If someone wants to come on and talk, it's right here. Just click on the link. You don't even have to do a camera. You can just do audio. But hop on board if you want to come on and talk about this. I felt very good because I felt like I had educated someone on the left who had no. Now he's going to go and tell people, hey, man, these people. I met some guy that's a total right winger gun nut. And man, he was really cool and he taught me a lot. And yeah, I hope that's what he took from it because it seemed to. I think it's really cool. And of course, going to the store, I almost turned my camera on, guys. Oh, it's comical. There was I mean, all the meats, it was funny. All the meats were gone. Very little meats left. And everybody's just grabbing all the red meat and everything. And you get to the checkout counter and I'm checking out a few things that I'm getting. And she goes, yeah, sorry, we don't have any red meat. I said, I don't eat any red meat. She's like, oh, are you a vegetarian? I said, no. And she goes, you must be backed up with supplies. I said, yeah, I hunt. My freezers are full. I hunt. I'm good. I don't buy red meat in the stores. I buy chicken once in a while. And Elijah just came in here. Come here, buddy. Why don't you say hi to everybody? He's getting ready to go to bed. You want to say hi? No. You don't want to say hi in the microphone? No? Well, at least wave. See, look on the TV. Whoops, making me hit the microphone. Okay, Elijah, you want to close the door when you leave? Yeah. No, you got to close the door. You can't stay in here. Come on. No playing the guitar. Go over there. Get your blanket. Here. Go. There we go. Yeah, my son, it's funny when I'm in here just messing around. He wants to get on the microphone and talk all the time. Can't get him to do it tonight. It's not working for you? Why not? Yeah, Fred, you know this all too well. Yeah, I mean, you run these courses. Man, the best thing to do, I mean, look, if you can shoot paper at a couple of 100 yards away, that's wonderful. How about this? Run 100-yard dash and then try to lay down and put a shot down at a couple of 100 yards away in under 20 seconds. Try that. Run 100 yards and then dive down onto the ground and then try to put a shot down a couple of 100 yards away in under 20 seconds. You'll have a whole new concept of what it's like to slow your heart rate down. Oh, man, you keep on getting a microphone error? That stinks. Sorry to hear that. Hey, if anybody else wants to jump in, the link is right here. I'll put it in again. Yeah, you could do that with anything, Fred. You can even do it with pistols. Yeah, try to do that same course that you walk through and then run through it and try to do it. By the time you get to those last few targets, oh man, you're it's doing this, and you're trying to breathe. Oh yeah, your whole system is a microphone error, slap weasel. Oh man. Well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on, guys. I got a lot of work in here to do. Haven't been doing much of anything. I'm going to have to deal with finding out what's going on tomorrow at my company. Okay. Because Dallas County is locked down. Half of my office is from Dallas County and the other half is from Tarrant County. So, yeah. Yeah. JA. Yeah. Actually, I got a treadmill here. Just saying. That'd be funny trying to keep it steady and dry fire it under those circumstances. See, I remember doing shooting courses up north when we used to do pistol competition. You know, where you open doors and you have certain targets and you have hostage situations you have to shoot and they time you and they judge you by your accuracy. I remember doing a couple of walking shoots where you had to keep moving. You couldn't stop and shoot. You had to shoot while you were walking. That's hard enough as it is. And what you have to do is time yourself on your foot. So when your foot lands and you have both feet on the ground, you're stationary enough to be able to fire, and then you time it. Foot comes down, boom. Take a step, foot comes down, boom. That was the best way for us to do it. So I will go a little longer. Oh God, I could imagine with the AR. People don't understand. Look, everybody goes to the range and they rest the gun and they're like, yay, and they shoot. And try shooting a gun standing up. See how accurate you are. Don't rest it on anything. No sandbags, no bipod. Don't lean it up against a tree when you shoot. It's not easy, especially with some of these guns today. Most of my guns are accurate, they're precision rifles, heavy barrels, bull barrels. Not the kind of gun you want to hold up. Okay? Well, that's good, Roy. See, my wife, she works at an optician, and because it's a doctor's office, it's considered medical. So she's not going to get shut down, although they have unbelievable precautions there with gloves and, constantly washing. Yeah, woodchuck, when we used to do the long distance shooting competitions up north, you know, you had, kneeling, prone, and standing. For me, kneeling was almost as easy as prone. Standing, then I had to get back and wrap the straps around and lock my elbow in, give myself the best position I could. Yeah, slap weasels always essential, especially online. Oh yeah. Oh no, no, Fred, is this going to be one of those things where we had to do it in the snow, barefoot, uphill, or something? Yeah, it's a whole lot different in the snow, guys. They did all kinds of testing on people. They'd pack them in ice and make them shoot, just trying to do everything they could to mess up your. I remember seeing this competition on TV, and I forget what it was, but it pitted this Navy SEAL up against someone else, and they put the Navy SEAL. They literally stuck him in an ice bath to lower his core temperature as best they could. Then they made him shoot, and then on top of that, he's in this container. If you remember the show, and they started dropping just bucketfuls of tarantulas and with the Black Emperor scorpions, not extremely aggressive, all over him, and a couple of different types of snakes, just to see if they could throw him off. And he could still shoot. He was still shooting with all this stuff going on. He had scorpions climbing over his scope and tarantulas. It was awesome. It was on years ago. I think maybe 6-7 years ago. I saw it on TV. Oh my God, that just made me laugh. Anyway, guys, I don't know how much longer we're going to go. I pretty much said everything I was going to say. And if I'm not going to get anybody in here for a conversation, if someone wants to jump on here, jump on. If not, I pretty much, like I said everything I was going to say. The coronavirus it's messing with everybody right now. There's doctors on there saying, oh, it's not as bad as everyone's saying it is. And then the media's playing it up, guys, playing it up. And I understand the differences. Okay. I'm not doing phone calls, Boulder. If you want to hop on, you're going to have to do that link. No phone calls. I'm not even hooking up the phone. Now, the difference between the coronavirus and, say, like the flu, if this is the way I heard it, it comes primarily from humans, passed human to human. The difference with corona is it's got a different type of startup point because it's supposed to come from animals. People say it's from the Chinese eating bats, and that's where the disease came from. Don't know how true that is, but that's what we're hearing. I mean, everybody's got all kinds of jokes, and of course, if you say anything bad about China, you get labeled, which is absolutely ridiculous. Not sure, what's gonna, where that's going. But anyway, hey, hi, how's it going, Boulder?
Hey, better than some, worse than others.
Yeah. How's everything going over there? Are you on lockdown yet, or?
No, we're not on lockdown. We've got some cities that are keeping critical infrastructure afloat. It sucks. It is what it is. It's the fear. It's the paranoia. It's the porn.
Yeah, I think the paranoia is really doing more damage than anything, and it's caused a lot of people to do strange things. I mean, there's what to me is absolute insanity. The running for toilet paper, the running for this, and that. These are things that you should probably have been, stocking up on already, huh? Us preppers get a bad rap,
Yeah, we've been getting a bad rap for a long, long, long time, and I'm kind of sitting back here going, "Oh, you don't have enough bullets. Oh, you don't have enough toilet paper. Oh, you don't have enough this or that." And I'm going, "Look, I've been prepping for 4 people,
yeah,
for a year. That's my goal.
Yeah.
1 year is it's tough, when kids eat all the time."
Yeah. And our local county here where I'm living has gone out of its way. The commissioner has said, hey, during this time we have curbside at all the different restaurants that we have, and he asked everybody, you need to support your local mom and pop shops. They should come first. They're the ones that live in our town. Support them.
Absolutely.
And that's what I did. And I even put a post up earlier. I mean, and I said basically, because Texans are really known for doing that, but it shouldn't be just Texas. It should be everywhere that's doing this.
A great way to do that is go and buy a gift certificate. Go and buy a card from that store. If you really want to support that store, go and tell them that, look, here's $20. When you're open again, I'll come in. But right now, if you can, go and buy a gift certificate to your favorite local mom and pop store.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way.
That and there's other ways too. Look, we have flooding right now in Texas. Whenever there's been flooding in Texas, everybody in Texas has a boat, and we go out and we use it. We help people get out of their homes. Also, I mean, we have storms this time of year. There's a lot of downed trees. If someone you know has a downed tree in their yard and they're waiting for someone to help, help, just go there with a chainsaw. Everybody's got a chainsaw.
Yep.
Go there and help them get. Be a
Yep.
good neighbor and do this. Like, I'm not waiting for the government to help anybody. You'll be waiting for too damn long.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like everybody else in the country gets to experience what happens in Boulder.
Yeah,
And we get a huge snowstorm. Okay, so it shuts down the county, and all the neighbors get out and dig each other out.
yeah,
And we're constantly shoveling snow, but everybody knows. The businesses know, the clients, the county, the whole fucking Northwest knows. If you got a snowstorm coming, you prepare as much as you can.
yeah.
You go to the store, you get what you need. You better already have most of it.
Well, that's just it. When in the living in the Northeast, where I was raised for 30 years, you get a nor'easter. You know a nor'easter is coming in. You
Yeah.
get your supplies beforehand because
Yeah.
you're preparing for it. This is
is it March yet? Oh, okay. Better start stocking up for next year.
well, I mean, March in Texas is the beginning of tornado season.
Yes.
And we get them touching down. They start tearing stuff up, and you lose power, sometimes days. Your neighbors, one might come down and tear the roof off your neighbor and leave you safe. So you got to go get ready to help your neighbor out, even if
You help neighbors.
Yeah, you take them in for a little bit until they get their roof repaired. I mean, truth be told, isn't that what humans are supposed to do?
They are, man.
I think we lost sight of it.
There are certain snowstorms where I just take out my 4x4 and I pull people out of ditches, and I go and look for people that are stranded, because they could be stranded with kids in the car. They could be stranded and on their they maybe need medical attention. So I literally drive around my town just looking for people to help.
Yeah. Hey, do you feel like we're kind of ignoring Roy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just,
I think Roy's great.
What is Roy? What do you have to say about this, man?
Well, I want to touch on what you had started with. I was reading a news article earlier. It was about gun shops in California.
Yeah.
And they're getting something like 70-80% of people that are, out there, first-time gun buyers.
Yeah.
And the one guy they interviewed, everybody's wearing their N95 masks and whatnot, and the one guy said he was wearing it so nobody could, so people couldn't identify who he was coming in, because it's, quote, not his brand to own a gun.
Oh yeah, don't want to get caught. Yeah, hypocrites.
Yeah, doesn't want his parents identifying him. Basically,
he
lives in their basement.
Wife.
Doesn't want to be ostracized.
Yeah, he lives in their basement.
Yeah, how many of them want the Second Amendment removed now?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part about that is they've still got a 10-day waiting period to pick up that gun.
Yeah, but you wouldn't believe what it's. Did you hear what just happened in Rhode Island?
But Roy, they go, wait, I can't just walk in and buy a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait,
exactly
wait. I thought I could get a fully automatic gun. What do you mean you have to check?
Yeah.
No, did you hear what just happened in Rhode Island? They took the governor overnight in secret, executive ordered all of the gun waiting periods to change from 7 days to 30 days now in Rhode Island. Somehow or another, that's going to stop coronavirus. These people are nothing but gun grabbing friggin' communists.
How much longer do we need to wait? 7 days? 14? 30? What is this going to do?
You know what the argument was for that is they said, well, you should if you're really upset and that's why you're buying a gun, you should be calmed down within 5 to 7 days. And I'm thinking to myself, nah, I've been kind of pissed off at my government for quite a few years now. I don't think 7 days will do it. I mean, if I was a nutcase,
Well, in all seriousness, we've actually had a exponential spike in red flag confiscation of firearms in Colorado over the last week. One week.
Well, look what they did in Louisiana. The governor of Louisiana, that female, shut down all gun purchases. You cannot buy a gun in Louisiana anymore.
What?
Oh,
you can't buy one.
She can't suspend the Second Amendment?
She did it. And I guess this is what gets me. Why aren't people going, fuck no, you ain't doing that. That's my Second Amendment. You can't take it. Screw you. Kiss my ass. I mean, yeah. She's been a gun hater and a socialist. I mean, she's just a piece of crap, but that's besides the point. I mean, seeing that I've already got this channel this stream demonetized, I might as well take out my new toy and show you.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear about that, but yeah, show me the toy. I did not know that a governor can suspend a citizen's rights.
Yeah, well, sure. And they're mad. Okay, this is why they're scared. They're like, why is everybody getting guns? Why is everybody getting guns? And then they have one person that was just swatted. Imagine that. Never heard of that before.
No, you and everybody else in this chat are going, why didn't you already have them?
Yeah, I understand that. But they had some guy that was shot. His house was swatted. And it wasn't swatted in a sense that someone online called. They were wondering because of Facebook posts saying that he was pissed off at the government, and they shot him in his bed while he was sleeping. And you know what the media said was the reason? Well, he said he was in a militia. Not for nothing, but I think it even says in the Second Amendment, being a militia. I mean, it says you have the right to a well and regulated militia. I don't get it. Why? Like, if that's some kind of a reason to go in and shoot somebody. I mean, there's some serious things going on right now, and with that whole case, and I don't know the particulars, but
I've heard a little bit about it. I want to do a little bit more research, but yeah, it looks like the police were wrong and shot him while he was sleeping. This is the news reports.
They said he confronted him, and they're like, how did he confront you? He was asleep in his bed and you shot through the wall and killed him. But this is what I picked up. This is the Chinese-made Norinco 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun.
Yeah.
Isn't that badass? Magazine-fed shotgun.
I'm like, is there's ever a reason to visit Texas?
And I got this just to I was going to trade it in at a gun store towards something I wanted, and yeah, I don't know if I can do that now. I kind of like this. I'm falling in love with it. It's yeah.
Well, you know as well as I do. You buy a gun, you never trade it in.
This is the only intention. Yeah, but this is the only one I have left. I'm trying to get my gun collection back. This is the only one I have left. I lost all the others in that terrible boating accident. You remember, Roy? I told you about that.
I lost all mine too.
Yeah, you lost yours. Yeah, I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm trying to get my gun collection back.
Love you. Love you. Yeah, I'm trying to get mine back as well.
Yeah, see, so I had to start somewhere. So I picked up this shotgun because Biden told me to get a shotgun. Didn't he tell you to get a shotgun?
Oh yeah, I remember. It's the only way to protect your house.
Yeah, so I did what he did. He told me to get a shotgun. I didn't. I went and looked for an AR-14, but I couldn't find one. Every time I asked, they laughed at me and they said they don't make one. I said Joe Biden wouldn't lie to me.
Now, let me ask you this: if you were a standard civilian that had no firearms, what would you tell someone to get right now?
Never had a firearm.
Yeah. Let's say you're a 30-year-old woman and you've never owned a firearm. What would you recommend that they get?
Probably a 22 caliber revolver.
I said 38, but yeah, revolver for sure.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. 22.
Your revolver, because I don't want them messing around with a semi-automatic. I think the revolver would be a good bet for him. So,
second,
J.A. lost all his guns on the Titanic.
Oh yeah. I had a terrible boating accident a few years ago, right before anybody knows what lake I was on.
No, mine. It was in salt water. There was no lake, so they're ruined. So you can't even recover them.
Okay.
I barely survived.
If you had to pick a shotgun for a newbie, which one?
A shotgun for a newbie. Probably the easiest thing to operate that's not going to be a single shot is going to be probably an 870 Remington or a Mossberg 500 pump.
Mossberg, yep. For sure.
Mossberg will be the least expensive. You're going to spend under $200 for it. There's all kinds of modifications you can do to the 500, just like the 870. You can, I would tell them go with a pistol stock. It'll be a little easier for them to control. Yeah, and it'll be a lot more comfortable for them. I mean, even a female, it's not going to kill you, I mean, but some of these people that try to hand a sawed-off shotgun to a female, that little tiny thing, and she's got to figure out how to hold that, it's going to end up killing them.
Or bounce it off their forehead.
Yeah, I've seen that. How many videos are there on YouTube of that happening?
Yeah, or hurt themselves. Yeah, exactly, Roy.
Well, yeah, you want someone to get a gun to where they're at least going to hit the bad guy and not kill themselves or innocent bystanders.
Right.
Because if they end up killing themselves, and now the bad guy not only wins, but he has another gun. Because that's what I tried to tell that guy at Aldi's today. I said, if I was a bad guy, I could take your gun. There's nothing you're going to do about it. Even if I don't have a gun, I'm just going to take it from you. I said, you're unaware of your surroundings. You have to train to know everything around you. You have a responsibility to other people, not just yourself for carrying a gun. You have to be able to retain that weapon so it doesn't get used on other people. Because if I was a bad guy, there's not too many people I can't go up to and go, nice gun, and take it.
Right.
And now I have a gun. I mean, you have to be prepared for that.
Well,
and a lot of people aren't.
What have you been saying on this channel for 3 years? Saying
train tactically and physically.
And train yourself, train your family.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that. And
yeah.
I guess a little bit of this comes like we laughing at normies. Kinda. I mean, I am a little bit right now laughing at normies. I got my guns, I've got my ammunition, and I've already been stocked up. So I hope that Roy is, at least with the bourbon, and I'll mail you some if you need.
Look, guys, make friends with your local mom and pop shop gun stores. Get to know the owner. If you buy weapons from them, they know you. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of mine were bought from my friend's gun shop. The ones that I used to have anyway, because I don't have them anymore. But anyway, the ones that I had, I got from him. So when I walked in there looking for ammunition, he's like, well, most of the stuff I'm saving for the range to make sure the range stays open.
Right.
He goes, and so he's saying this because there's a bunch of people around us, and he wants them to hear that too. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll take some of the buckshot because you're not going to use that in the range. And he goes, okay. So I go up to the counter and he goes, here, Steve, take these.
No, I did the same.
He gives me some other ammunition that he just didn't want everyone else to know this, but because I've been a customer of his for 9 years.
Yep.
You know, he's like, okay, let's hook Steve up. He's been here for 9 years. You know, I know he lost all his guns in this terrible boating accident, but he did buy 20 of them from me. You know.
See, while all these other idiots were out buying, rushing Walmart buying toilet paper and Lysol wipes and shit, I was out buying ammo because when the time comes, I'm just gonna take it from you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take your toilet paper, buddy. I'm sorry. You want toilet paper? There's plenty of it in the city.
I think that this is a wake up call for most normies. And what do you think about getting more people into indoor ranges? If you don't have places like Texas, like I have an indoor range, I have an outdoor range, and my indoor range, they kept ammo for me, 22, 223, and 308. They had it was like my name was on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm part of that club. So what do we do to get more people that maybe have never done this before or are a little bit scared to just go and try? Like, you don't even have to bring your own gun. They have guns you can shoot.
Yeah, pick one. You try a couple of them. Yeah. So I don't understand. I mean, look, they say we have over 1 million new gun owners now that never owned a gun before. And I'm looking conspiracy against conspiracy. You just had a 4.1 aftershock and SLC. What is SLC? Last I was hearing, it was Utah that was getting the earthquakes. What's going on? And yeah, MD, I don't understand. Of course, the media, I have to understand the media wants panic. They want chaos. They want everything to fall apart. They want the stock markets to crash. They want the U.S. to go into absolute chaos because that's their agenda. So that's why they're telling people to stock up on food. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because let me tell you something. If they don't get it done now and we come out of this thing okay, and then Trump he's going to get reelected in a landslide. You notice every time Trump goes on TV and talks like he did today, all the media can do after and say, well, like there was one that was complaining about his grammar. I'm like, look, the United States is having, a possible pandemic, and you're complaining about the president's grammar. You friggin' idiot.
Well, that's all they got. That's all they got. They don't have anything of real substance, so they got to go down to the petty bullshit.
Well,
yeah, Woodchuck, we're so calm compared to the normies. I mean, oh my God, they're losing it. I watch them all running around with masks on in the store, and I mean, I'm sitting there in line, and like I said, with this guy I'm talking to about his sidearm, and all I could think of is, man, there's like 7 people in front of me. If I sneeze, I bet you I could get to the front of the line.
Well,
that's all I could think of.
Yeah, at Lowe's and Home Depot, don't do that.
They'll escort you out.
Yeah,
call in hazmat.
So like, put all of that stuff down. You're now escorted out.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the stories to come out. I was thrown out of this place for sneezing. I saw a guy walking into the supermarket. He was coughing. And all I can think about is, I'm glad I'm leaving.
Well,
but as soon as someone gets sick, they automatically think it's corona. My brother had an upper respiratory infection, had to get to the ER and get tested for corona. And then they were like, no, you don't have it. You got an upper respiratory infection. But everybody thinks that as soon as you get a sniffle, you must have corona. No, I get a fucking sniffle.
Yeah, now everything's Corona, regardless of how sick you are.
That's Corona.
Ridiculous. If I wanted to live in fear,
And that
I would move to a communist country. Yeah.
Oh my God, MD, really? The Walmart guy tried to get you to show your receipt. You coughed and said no, thank you.
MD,
Oh my God!
I do
Just
that
cough.
just
You hold.
just
You only
on
bring up the
principle.
receipt and cough on it. Just bring up the receipt and cough on it and see what happens. Then try to hand it to him.
Yeah, there's no way I'm showing my receipt to a Walmart checker who used to be a Walmart greeter. No way in hell. I'm walking straight past you, and if you want to stop me, call the fucking cops, because your ability to check my receipt ended way over there where I just paid for my fucking materials.
Yeah, I'll do you one better.
Whatever.
I was on my way out of.
What's that, Roy?
So I'll do you one better. I was on my way out of Walmart the other day, and the receipt checker, he wanted my receipt, and I'm like, "Yeah, I had that in my mouth. You don't want to touch it." He's like, "All right, you're good."
Yeah. Go and reach for your wallet or something. Put it in your mouth as you reach for your wallet. They won't
Well,
look at it.
Yeah, that's what happened. It's just habit. I got my receipt and I got cash back out of the self checkout thing, and I pulled my receipt and I stuck it in my mouth because I knew he was gonna want to see it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to throw it in the bag. And and I got up there and I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I had that in my mouth. He's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, they cannot stop you. You've already purchased your goods.
That's
you
funny.
must walk past them. Do not show them your receipt. As a matter of principle, you've already purchased your goods. Do not give in to the, oh, let me check your receipt bullshit. Fuck you.
Odin, no, I'm not on lockdown. No, Dallas County, they're on lockdown. I'm not in Dallas County. I'm in Tarrant. Now, Tarrant County might get locked down in the next couple of days. I don't know.
Sure it does, Jay.
Yeah.
Loss prevention. All right.
Yeah, the self-checkouts all have cameras on them, so you're being recorded. Yeah, flip one off every once in a while. See what happens.
Well, I would just recommend building Walmarts where there are no black people. Then you'll have less loss prevention to.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, well, am I wrong?
No.
Roy's scared to say anything.
Yeah, Roy's going over here going, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
But I'm just willing to say it out loud.
Oh my God.
You're definitely not monetized now, Steve.
Well, no, I might as well start calling it the Kung Flu. Yes, everybody was Kung Flu fighting.
Yeah, nobody should ever say it's not Chinese virus, Kung Flu, Corona AIDS, or
well, not for
else.
nothing, but the coronavirus has certain components of HIV in it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a combination of 3 different things.
SARS.
Yep.
Corona.
And the like I said, it's got components of HIV. And the doctors are saying, well, it can't. There's no way these can be combined in nature. This had to be done in a lab.
There is absolutely no way that these can have done this in nature. This was manufactured in a lab, 100%. And they can even see the little fucking telltale signs when you snip it and add it to the virus.
Yeah.
They can see it. This is manufactured.
Well, come on. They just screwed up trying to get the guy impeached, and it didn't happen. Okay? And he is gone after to shut down China because basically we're in too much debt to them and we shouldn't be. And he wants to shut that down. So basically, I mean, Bill Clinton's the one that gave everything to China, and he wants to stop that from happening.
Yeah,
so he wants to
97,
reverse it.
yeah.
So all of this that's going on, I mean, come on. And we know, we know for how this is being played that this is all about trying to. They couldn't destroy Trump, so time to take down the economy. You know,
it's the liberals. They fucking hate us so much. The working class, when I say us,
yeah,
the only way they're going to beat Trump is with 20% unemployment and the stock market through the floor, and they're willing to hurt all of us.
Well, yeah, they don't care. They don't care about the left. The people in power just care about being in power.
Well, yeah, you know, how much of the working class, look at unions and shit like that. How much of the working class is, you know, on the left?
There's a lot of
it's not a left-right thing. It's not a left-right thing. It's a power thing. It's
no, I think it's
class.
Yeah, I think it's a UN thing more than anything, truth be told. I think the UN is behind all this. I think it's based on the fact that if they want to unify the world, they've got to destroy the world under one label. One thing has to bring the world together by destroying it. You know, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it. Everybody's going to have to band together to beat this thing. Think about it.
Well, I've been saying for years to throw the UN the fuck out.
Later, Slap Weasel.
Later, Slaps.
See you, Slap Nuts.
These people have been maybe designing for a while.
Oh,
and everything else didn't work. Like you said, impeachment didn't work, and collusion didn't work. And so right now we have what happens when the whole world gets afraid of one thing.
Well,
and they just push the fear.
Well, think about this. Coronavirus has been around since 1968. But COVID-19 hasn't. COVID-19 comes from the coronavirus. It's what it turns into. Okay? If it's what I'm reading anyway. It's what it turns into.
It's the strain of it.
Yeah,
just like there's different strains of the flu.
So I'm thinking that did they create something that attacks a certain genome? Is that what they've done? That's why some people are getting it, some people aren't. I don't know. Rand Paul tested positive today, MD. Rand Paul tested.
Too bad it wasn't Nancy Pelosi.
Well, here's the deal with that, though. Rand Paul, didn't he just try to earmark the shit out of a bill to get it passed, and they shot it down?
Yeah, I think when they were trying to do something with funding.
Well, yeah, the Democrats shot down the stimulus. Oh, they destroyed it. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want that. The stimulus that's what they do. They buy votes. How dare they? Trump can't do that. That's their deal.
So, Pinder, when you get the flu and you recover from it, do you have a disease afterwards?
Well, no, that's just it. I've only had the flu twice in my life. 2 times. Once when I was a kid and once last year. I never had the flu before.
Okay, well, COVID is the disease.
Yeah, that comes
after. Coronavirus is the virus.
Yes.
So that's what people are scared of. That once you have the disease, that's when you get permanent lung damage. That's when you get actual retroactive for your symptoms.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So you may, depending on the person, you may never have children again.
Yeah.
You
Well,
may
what if
have
RGB got corona?
myeloencephalitis with swelling of the brain.
You're breaking up bad.
Dead, like
Boldy, you're breaking up bad. You're breaking up. Yeah, your mic's breaking up. Talk again. Can you hear me?
I'm back.
Nope.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't. Well, Boulder just moved his lips, but I didn't hear anything. Can you hear me, Boulder?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just-
There's a bad lag. Okay. Okay.
Maybe you should drop out and come back in.
Boulder, you want to do that? Drop out, come back in? See if we can't fix your mic. Okay, let's see if he comes back. Man, I tell you something. After today, I wanted to tell that guy off like, you stupid idiot. What the hell are you doing? But all I could think of is, he's going to go back. And here's a new guy that just got a gun. And if I do that to him, he's going to go back and go, yeah, those right wingers are assholes. And, so I didn't want him to know I was really an asshole.
Well, you probably just scared the shit out of the dude. Really?
Well, I told him what can happen. I gave him and I wasn't a jerk about it. I said, look, and he's like, no one ever told me this before. I said, well, I told him what to look up on the internet, and that would help him out. I said, but you don't want to do this unless you're trained,
Well, yeah. I'm not saying like you did it in a mean spirited way. It was like a reality check, culture shock kind of a thing where he's like, he's probably like, holy shit, I didn't realize,
Yeah,
there's this much to owning a fucking gun, and these are the people that actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, I didn't want him to. First, I wanted him to educate himself on it, but I didn't want him to think, oh yeah, just go out and buy a gun, everything's okay, because that's what these guys think that the right wingers are, a bunch of nuts that just go out and buy guns and pull the trigger, and that's all you do because it's that easy. Because he seems to think that all these freaking gunmen that go up shooting up places, they're like, oh yeah, it just go in there and start squeezing off rounds because that's what Joe Biden said. You just pull the trigger and people die because it's that easy. It's like the fake Las Vegas shooter, which we know friggin' didn't happen. Like he was able to get on that many people with a bump stock. Really? You know what I mean? It's like they hear all this stuff, they believe all this garbage, and they think, oh yeah, it's that easy. We can do that. No big deal. No. Hey, Pastor Jack.
It just cracks me up. These guys are going out now, first-time gun buyers that would have never bought a gun in any other time. And it's like, don't tell my wife I just bought this. She doesn't need to know about it. I'm going to cover my face so that people don't know who I am, just so that I can get this gun. And like, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely blows my mind.
Major victory. Truth be told, if you have someone that's going to show you how to shoot, the best firearm that you can get that's not a pistol is an AR-15. It is by far the easiest firearm to use as long as you have someone that's going to teach you. No recoil, accurate. But you still need to and that's just shooting the gun. That's the physical nature of actually firing the gun is easy. The mentality of doing it is completely different. Being able to look down that rifle at someone and pull the trigger. That's not easy. That was the biggest problem in World War II. They found out that people were just shooting over the enemy.
Yeah, they were afraid to take another human's life.
That's why they started training them with the black silhouettes. Because it was the shape of a human, and they got used to shooting at that shape. And when you're in combat, you don't see any expression on their faces or nothing. You just see silhouettes. So I'm told. Never been in combat that way. I've been in hand-to-hand combat, and I was in a knife fight. I didn't have the knife, but yeah.
I've never been in a situation like that to where, never been in like military style combat.
Yeah.
But I've never been in a situation where I've had to pull a weapon or anything like that. And I just hope as much as I've trained that I'll be able to do that when the time comes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had to, when I was a security guard, I had to disarm a guy. And then, like I said, I got into a fight with a guy with a knife and I got cut. You're going to get cut. You're not going to get out of it without getting cut. But
I'm not taking a knife off of somebody.
Yeah, it's just it's not like the rule of thumb was you rush a gun, run from a knife. If you can get away, don't bother engaging the guy with a knife. With a gun, what are you going to do? Run away? You got to rush him.
Right.
But, hey, we've been on for. What's that?
So where's Boulder at? Thought he was coming back.
I don't know, but we're well over an hour, and I'm probably going to be closing this thing down. So.
Hey, bro, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we'll call it at that. I got a bunch of stuff to do over here. I didn't expect to go on tonight, and earlier today I said, yeah, I think I should. So, anyway, I will talk to everybody later. Thank you so much for stopping in. Have a good one.
Have a good night, everybody.